Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia. I am a Vancouver-based registered dietitian and I help people all over the world get to the root cause of chronic symptoms, especially gut and skin issues. And if you're new here, welcome. On my channel, you will find tips for healing your gut and skin, especially eczema. I also love talking about the mind-body connection, which is a huge piece when it comes to a lot of people's chronic symptoms. So if you're someone who's dealing with bloating, indigestion, eczema, histamine issues, gut imbalances, stress and anxiety, then you're in the right place. And I'm really excited for today's episode because we're going to talk about the nervous system, but not in a way where I'm telling you to go meditate or go breathe, which is, what social media always says. Nervous system regulation is all about breathing and meditation, which are all really great things. But I want to talk about regulating your nervous system in a way that not a lot of people actually talk about. And actually, I've made a couple posts recently on my Instagram page where I talked about what regulating your nervous system means in terms of safety and how a lot of times healing from chronic symptoms comes from feeling safe in your body in order to heal. And I'll talk a little bit about this in detail, but this is sort of the theme the past few weeks. How can we regulate our bodies in a way where we feel safe for healing to actually happen? Because a lot of times, we do a lot of things to heal, right? Whether it is going on a diet, taking supplements, being put on protocols. Those are very, surface level things that we are doing to help manage our chronic symptoms. But what we've seen in practice is a lot of people are doing all these things, but because their nervous system is in overdrive, their body actually isn't able to respond to the protocols that they're on. If this sounds like you, then this is the episode you want to listen into. Everyone talks about what regulating your nervous system should look like. We see it on social media, we see it on Instagram, we see it on TikTok, and it's like, go do breathing, go do a sound healing class, breathwork, cold plunges, sauna, hot and cold therapy, meditation, affirmations, the wellness culture when it comes to regulating your nervous system. And while those things are definitely helpful to regulate your nervous system, no one really says or talks about the fact that you can't ice bath your way out of a toxic environment. You can't constantly do breath work when your body feels anxious. You cannot breathe a life that feels like you're always on the go. Yeah, it'll help regulate your nervous system in the moment, but if you have a chaotic life and your body feels unsafe in this environment, no amount of breath work is really going to regulate you to the level for healing to actually happen. You can't supplement your way out of stress. Right? Oh, I'm stressed, so I'm going to take lots of ashwagandha today. Oh, I'm stressed, I'm going to take a bunch of magnesium. Like, it doesn't work like that. And oftentimes, nervous system regulation isn't about what the tool actually is, because there's tons of tools out there. How does your body respond to stressors? How does your mind respond to things happening in your life? How does your body respond when you get a flare? How do you respond when you follow a protocol, right? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel like it's not enough? Do you always feel like you're always nervous about your journey, or do you feel regulated? This is why a lot of times these diets that people are put on to help manage their inflammation doesn't work for the long term, because people go into these protocols, into these diets, already have this preconceived notion or feeling that it's going to cause them stress. It's going to cause them anxiety. Even though this diet is supposed to help with the symptoms, it actually does the opposite, because your body's responding to the diet in a way where it's like, ooh, I don't like this. It's stressful. It's too much work. Right? That's your body responding, but your logical mind is telling you, no, you got to do it. Obviously, it's going to help you and it's recommended by a practitioner. So you just need to push through. You just need to go on with it, get on with it. But how I see it as a practitioner is, yes, the diet and the protocol needs to be good, needs to help you, but you also need to be aligned with it, meaning that you don't want to go onto a protocol already feeling like you're going to hate it. That's not going to work out for you in the long term. Yes, you might have some resistance to it, like it is when you start anything new. You might be a little bit afraid or a little bit resistant to change, but that typically should pass with time. Being on the protocol, you're getting the hang of it, you're being more consistent, it should relatively feel calm and steady. But if it's not, if it's continuously causing you stress, causing your nervous system to be in fight or flight or freeze, that's a sign that you're in misalignment. So how does your body and your nervous system respond to situations? And I'm using a protocol as an example because I know a lot of people listening to this episode are on protocols, are on a treatment plan. They may not actually feel good being on it. I kind of have a bit of a story that happened this morning, actually. So it's Chinese New Year week. The week that the episode is being released, Chinese New Year is last week. Today is February 18th. Tomorrow's actually my birthday, February 19th. And prior to this week, I told myself, okay, Julia, you're going to take this week off. Chinese New Year is not meant for you to overwork. It's not meant for you to take calls. In Chinese culture, especially the New Year time, if you work too hard, they believe that it symbolizes hardship for the rest of the year, meaning that you're going to be working hard for the rest of the year. And that's not how I want my Chinese New Year to start. So I told myself, I'm going to slow down, and I even moved all my client calls to the week after. I did take actual Chinese New Year day off, which was February 17th yesterday. Didn't work at all. So I told myself that I would slow down, not have any meetings. And then there was this business event that came up. And I was like, oh, should I go? Should I go? Should I go? They have it every week, first of all. And I was like, you know what? I should go because it's my week off. I'm not taking clients. It would be nice to, go to this business event, not stressing about doing other things during the week. But I had this little feeling in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, should I though? Like, maybe I shouldn't because I told myself I would take the week off. Anyways, I ended up going, and it was a very early morning meeting at 6:30 in the morning. Everything was fine in the morning. I didn't feel rushed. I had a good night's sleep. But when I was driving downtown, I started to get nervous because there was no parking. I even left early. I was circling around the area. It was getting close to when the event was going to start. So I started rushing. I was like, hey, let me just find a spot, park here, and then I'll make it in time. After the event ended, I went to my car and my car wasn't there. I got towed. And my body immediately went into panic mode. I was spiraling. I was like, my car got stolen. Something happened to it. It got it was either stolen or towed. And I was like, oh my God, my car is gone. It is not here. I started freaking out. I was like, I don't know what to do. Who do I call? I have a meeting back home. I was just like spiraling out of my mind. And then I started to spiral even more. And I was like, is this a sign that I should have stayed home today? Is this a sign that this year is going to go terribly because this is the start of Chinese New Year? What does this mean? And I was just like getting into my head about it. And like my body was like responding to the situation. So long story short, my car did get towed. I had to go to the towing place, pay for the towing ticket, which was absurd. I also have negative thoughts too. I do spiral. So, even though I talk about mindset and like nervous system, I'm a human too, right? We're going to take a quick break. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something I see all the time as a root cause dietitian. So many people are struggling with gut issues, eczema, inflammation, fatigue, blood sugar imbalance, you name it. And they've tried everything under the sun, but nothing is really sticking. They go to the doctor's office and the first thing they're given is a medication or a steroid to help their skin. And there's not a lot of conversation about addressing symptoms from a root cause perspective. And this is where I come in. I help people as a dietitian to get to the root cause of exactly what's going on and create a practical, personalized nutrition plan that actually makes a difference. No strict protocols, no restrictive dieting, and no detoxes. Just a clear plan that you can actually follow that is sustainable. And this is exactly what we do inside our group and one-on-one coaching services. We help our clients feel better in their bodies and actually become symptom-free. If this is something that you've been looking for, I would love to work with you. You can simply book a free consultation in the show notes below. The consultation is for me to understand your health goals, where you're feeling stuck, and how we might be able to support you. I would love to help you feel better, confident in your body, confident in your skin, and confident in yourself by healing from the inside out. Now, this is not a program that will just tell you what to do. This is a program where we work with you. We are by your side the entire time. We help you understand your symptoms and your body, and we combine nutrition with mind-body medicine. I'll leave the link in the show notes below for you to book a free call. Now, back to the episode. So what I'm trying to say here is, in that moment of me panicking, I really had to check myself. I had to be like, okay, Julia, whatever happened already happened. I cannot reverse time. I cannot go back in time. My car is already towed. It is what it is. So instead of me spiraling and being like, oh my God, what if this? What if that? Is this a bad sign? Is this bad luck? I was like, you know what? Cancel. I'm gonna stop and just get on with it. That was like a test for me to be like, slow down, okay? Slow down before you make decisions. Slow down before you commit to something. And this is very much like the year of the horse energy. And I talked about this on my Instagram as well, where it's like the horse energy is all about momentum. It's about action. It's forward energy. It's moving. It's very fast paced. And you don't take a moment to slow slow down, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to burn out. And it took me like an hour for me to really calm myself. But instead of me feeling like, oh, I need to go breathe or like meditate my way out of this, it was that narrative I had to change. I was literally telling myself, everything's going to be fine. It's not the end of the world. My way of regulating my nervous system in that moment is how long I let that situation affect me for the rest of the day. I had two options, right? Option one was to let it totally ruin my day and affect my work and affect how I showed up and everything like that. Or option two was to just get on with it and just know that shit happens. Shit happens and move on. And obviously, I'm going to choose number one. I'm not going to let something unfortunate ruin the rest of my day. And I didn't have to breathe my way out of it. I didn't have to meditate. You totally can, right? But the way that I regulated my nervous system was how I responded to the situation. I want to use this example because I think the timing is actually perfect because I know a lot of you listening are trying to regulate your nervous system. If you're not, this is something that we all need to be focusing on for this year and moving forward. This is very applicable for your healing because there's going to be stuff that happens in your life, right? Stress, career, relationships, your car getting towed, getting a parking ticket, and all of those things sometimes are beyond your control. Yeah, you can control some things like, being a little bit more careful when you're driving. I don't know, maybe not rushing, right? That's my lesson. Take my time, don't overcommit. But regulating your nervous system isn't just about meditating in those moments and just being regulated for those moments. It's how your nervous system is in your day-to-day when things happen. Do you respond to situations where you're panicking, you're screaming, or I don't know, right? You're just like anxiety, or do you respond to situations in a calmer manner? Especially when it comes to your protocol. When you're responding to your protocol, does it feel safe in your body? Do you feel good being on this protocol? Or do you feel like you're in fight or flight? Do you feel like you're having anxiety around your protocol? Are you overthinking about it? Are you thinking about the what ifs? What if I didn't do this? What if I didn't follow this protocol all the time? What if I didn't take my supplement, right? Are you spiraling? Just like the way that I was spiraling with my car being towed. I was like, where's my car? How am I going to get it? How am I going to make this meeting? Is this going to ruin the rest of my day? How much is this parking ticket? That is when it becomes an issue because when you allow something to affect you for that long, I'm not saying like ignore your emotions, not at all. And not like, oh my God, yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Like obviously let your body respond. But if you're catastrophizing, thinking of the worst case scenario and it's never ending, that's chronic state of stress. That is chronic nervous system dysregulation. That is catastrophizing. That is going to affect your body and your skin and your symptoms. When it comes to your healing protocol and how to actually regulate your nervous system, if the breath work and the meditation, the sauna, ice bath, whatever it is that you're trying to do isn't working, I want you to think about how your nervous system is responding to your environment, to your diet plan, to situations. Ask yourself, if you want to put your hand to your chest and say, does my nervous system feel safe with this nutrition plan? Tune into it, right? Do I feel calm and like, oh, okay, this is fine? Or do you feel anxiety all the time with it? Even your lifestyle. Do I feel safe with my current lifestyle? Does it feel rushed? Does it feel like you never have time? Does it feel like you're overcommitting? Those are all signs that your nervous system might not be safe if you are doing those things. Do you feel safe in your body? Do you actually feel like you can receive the healing? Or do you constantly feel like you have to do more? Or you constantly feel like things aren't working? Or you're being overly critical about yourself or having racing thoughts? These are all patterns that we can identify within ourselves that can tell us whether or not your body feels safe. Even the people in your life, that can actually impact your nervous system as well. Do you feel safe with this person? Not in the sense that they'll hurt you, hopefully not, but generally, what does your nervous system feel like when you're around a certain person? There's some people, your battery's drained. You feel nervous before I hang out with them. That's a huge sign. There's other people you feel like you're just yourself. You love being around them. They support you. They enlighten you. They empower you. They fill up your bucket. That is safety. And remember, safety always equals healing. So we have to stop looking at nervous system regulation being like, okay, I'm just going to do breath work and I'm just going to meditate, it's like, okay, how do I really feel when I don't do those things? Because you're not going to have the ability to always breath work and meditate, right? But you do have the ability to check in with yourself in certain situations when things happen. Stressors that happen, people in your life, how you respond to your nutrition plan, things that are often forgotten and overlooked. And not to forget something I always say, your relationship with yourself. And that's why I have so many episodes where I talk about how your words impact your healing, using the right language with yourself, and how you speak about yourself to other people, because your body takes in everything you think and everything you say. So if you tell your body that you don't think it's working, you have to do XYZ to heal, healing only happens if you're doing, then that's dysregulation, right? Because your body doesn't feel like it can actually take a break. And not to forget that safety in your body also means how you treat it from a nutrition perspective. What foods are you feeding it? What foods are you not? How often do you eat? How often do you skip meals? And your relationship with food. This is so important because if you're depriving your body from nutrition by skipping meals or restricting your diet, that is also nervous system dysregulation because your nervous system needs nutrients. It needs nutrients to function. Your gut is directly linked to your mind. I talk about this all the time through the vagus nerve. If we don't feed our gut with the right foods, healing foods, eating on time, it's going to affect the mind. So you might notice that on days when you're not providing the nutrition that your body needs, you probably feel more stressed that day. Maybe you have more anxiety. Maybe you feel more clouded, right? You can't really think straight, brain fog. It's not unrelated. So safety in your body also means how we nourish our bodies as well. Our bodies want to know that you care, that you will give it what it wants. It needs nourishing foods. It needs love and attention. We also have to think about nervous system safety when it comes to what we eat. So if this episode resonated with you and you're like, wow, I didn't think about nervous system in this way, I hope it helped you. I know it's different than what most people talk about, but it truly is. It's just connection with yourself. And it all comes down to you when it comes to your healing. It's less about the external, beyond what a breathwork session can do, beyond what a meditation session can do. A lot of the stress that we experience is created by ourselves. It's created by our minds. It's created by us overthinking. It's created by the chronic lifestyle that we live in. So if you want to make changes and start regulating your nervous system, have a look at your lifestyle. Have a look at how you respond to situations. Have a look at how you speak to yourself. Have a look at your environment. Have a look at your thoughts. All of these things play a role. I could go on and on, clearly, but I'll leave it at that. If you like this episode, hit the subscribe button because we release weekly episodes on all topics when it comes to gut, skin, and nervous system from your favorite dietitian. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.